Emily. We're here. This is a casino.
Yes, we had talked about this quite a bit because I have seen many a building in the Delaware parks, in the Olmsted parks, and they all say, or most of them do say, casinos on them.
And I thought that was a real casino, but then I found out that I was just basically very, very confused, and so I decided I needed to get to the bottom of it. Yeah, actually, my neighbor was like, "Oh yeah, that used to confuse me too." So don't worry, I sorted it out. I found out what is the story behind the casinos. Let's check it out.
When is a casino not a casino? It's when what you thought was a casino is not actually what you thought it was. It's time to dive in and set the record straight, for me at least, and find out what the deal is with the Marcy Casino here on Hoyt Lake in Delaware Park.
I'm confused. This is a casino, but it isn't a casino. Like, you could never gamble here.
This is a casino building. Typically, park buildings around the turn of the century or in the 1900s, when this was designed, that casino term was commonly used.
Well, thank you, Greg Robinson. Greg is the Director of Park Administration for the Buffalo Olmsted Parks Conservancy, so he knows what he's talking about. But you know what? It's not uncommon for people to show up here looking for a blackjack table. Just ask Jason Davidson from Magnolia Events, who run the terrace here at Delaware Park.
I do get people walking in once in a while, I'm like, it says on my GPS there's a casino here, and I have to laugh. You know, the original term for the casino was a park gathering space, but not a lot of people were around in the 1900s when they coined that phrase, and so today's use definitely causes some confusion.
So there you go. A casino was a whole different concept back in the day.
Tell us about the history of this particular building.
Yeah, so at this location, there's been a park structure ever since Olmsted designed the parks. Originally, Calvert Vaux had designed a boathouse in this location back in 1874. That was used to store boats and the lower levels for Hoyt Lake, but also the upper levels were public gathering spaces and restaurant services, kind of very similar to the use today.
But between then and now, it wasn't all smooth sailing for the old boathouse.
There's a lot of history to this location. So unfortunately, that Calvert Vaux boathouse had burned in 1899. So this place was reduced to rubble. And with the upcoming Pan American Exposition, this was a key spot to have a building and a key focal point. So at that point, they had hired E.B. Green, a famous architect, to design this building, again, in preparation for the Pan American Exposition.
However, the structure we see today is built from the bones of the original E.B. Green designed building. That had its top lopped off in the 1960s in favour of a more modern design.
In the 1960s, there was a movement in architecture and the design style of a modernist design, and the powers that be at that point felt that a flat roof would be appropriate for this building. So very fortunate for us, that only lasted about 30 years, and in 1990, the city and the powers that be saw the light and restored this building as much as possible back to the original E.B. Green design.
All's well that ends well. For 10 years now, Magnolia Events has managed the terrace at Delaware Park, opening up what was once only an event space to become a restaurant that can be more regularly enjoyed by everyone.
I know a lot of customers, before we opened the restaurant, they used to say, there's this beautiful building, they've never been inside unless you're, invited to a wedding and have to bring a $100 gift. You never get a chance to come to the casino. And now we feel like we, really do embrace the public and try to offer something for everybody.
And now the terrace at Delaware Park and Buffalo Olmsted Parks Conservancy have a great partnership.
As we become more successful as a restaurant and entity, the more rent that we generate, which goes to the Conservancy, which they put back into making the parks better. So it really is a partnership. The better we do, the better they do, and vice versa.
All the more reason to visit. And when you do, remember to tag your photos with the hashtag MyParks.